Tim, could I give you this?
Yes, sir.
This is the plate for the Liberty Bell.
Okay.
And if you could just put it in their mailbox on your way back to the office.
Okay.
I told them I would be sending it over via you. They're not always there.
Are you putting it on the plaque yourself?
I've already ordered the plaque
Oh, okay.
and I just unscrew that. You know, we have the permanent one.
Right.
And then we have the more that's given. Now, the one that's given has been awarded. That's the winner.
Okay.
It's not disclosed yet. But we're the winner.
Yes, sir.
And thanks for your help.
Okay.
My handwriting's so bad. I hope they can figure it out. Good afternoon, Mr. Kern. Thank you for your patience. Are you Tyler James Kern?
Yes, sir.
Here with your lawyer, Mr. Tim George. You're charged with no insurance under the insurance code, driving suspended, first offense, and unlawful plate. Those are all misdemeanors. The most serious of the batch is the no insurance charge. That's punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of not less than $200. Ms. Stoll, we adjourned this a couple of times. I think Mr. Kern was working on some things. What's the plea offer here?
Your Honor, in exchange for a guilty plea to violating the motor vehicle code and the admission to no proof of insurance, I'm willing to dismiss the remaining charges.
All right, that's a pretty good offer. These are punishable. No insurance is punishable by up to a year in jail, fine of not less than $200 and not more than $500. So the minimum fine for that one is $325. The prosecutor is agreeing to dismiss that charge for a plea to a civil infraction called no proof of insurance. That carries a fine of $150. It's not a crime. It's like running a stop sign or a speeding ticket. It does carry a $150 fine by fee schedule, but it's not a misdemeanor. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, no insurance means you were driving the car that day and you had no insurance on your car. No proof of insurance means you didn't have the slip in the car. Sometimes, me included, get sideways and we don't put our proof in there in a timely manner. Well, I've been trying to be very conscientious about it, but when I had 5 cars and 3 kids, it's hard to maybe always keep it all current. Anyway, are you willing to admit that on the date of this offense, that was December 29th, that you did not have valid proof of insurance in your car?
Yes.
You agree with that, Mr. George?
Yes, sir.
Laura, I took all the envelopes out of here. I'm in rough shape. Can I have a couple of pay envelopes? I stripped this bare yesterday afternoon and not realizing I still needed some stuff. Can you pay that today or do you need time to pay it?
Can I do a payment plan?
Yeah, that one's theoretically due within 30 days. So they'll take the money for that one first.
Can you add it to the one that's already going? Okay.
When did you make your last payment?
The 6th?
Yeah, April 6th, because your next one's due May 6th. So you've been making payments. All right. Did you get your license back?
Yeah.
Very good. 2, 5, 7, 3, 26. How'd you do that?
Just cutting grass.
I mean, you got enough money to pay to get your license squared away?
What do you mean?
You got your license back,
Oh,
is that
yeah.
what you said? How did you manage to do
I was
that?
cutting grass.
So using the money from cutting grass to pay everything?
Yeah. And I got child support.
Yes,
fines.
yes. I made my comment on child support this morning. But it doesn't do any good if you're suspended, you can't get to work or drive anywhere. And people get on the driving suspended merry-go-round and they can't get off. These offenses often go together. No insurance, no plate, and driving suspended. I call it driving while poor. You don't have enough money to pay for everything and you're driving to get back to work and trying to make everything go all right. And then you get this. Then you get a bunch of more fines. You don't remember driver responsibility fees. They were terrible.
125.
What?
It was 125.
Well, that was the reinstatement.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I didn't have an either, so we have to
Um,
revise.
Um, but the driver responsibility fee for these would be $500 a year for 2 years. It was terrible. It was grossly unfair. It made people disrespect the system. They got suspended and they thought, screw it, I'm just gonna drive anyway. They were repealed and we're all better for it. Anyway, they've offered to dismiss the charge of driving suspended if you plead to the offense of allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code. Paul, do you need to go see Mr. Randall in the back?
I went to see him already.
All right, we'll bring him in a minute. Thanks. Allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code carries no points, doesn't get abstracted to your license, won't affect your ability to keep or maintain your driver's license now that you got it back. That's why that's a good deal. So you've filed an advice of rights acknowledging that you're giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury if you enter a plea to this charge. Is that correct?
Yes.
So were you driving a car here in St. Joe County on December 29th?
Yes.
Where were you going?
Not too, I don't remember.
Now, you lived in Kent County. Where do you live now?
Can't kind
All right. So
That's
how'd you have,
That's my grandma's address.
all right, the
Mailing.
Kent County address, that Tent Pole Lane or whatever it is?
Logical.
How'd you happen to be here in St. Joe County?
My mother lives here.
All right, so it would have been Christmas, New Year's time. You spend a lot of time down here?
Occasionally. I'm from here, but trying to move away.
This one's a little more expensive. $75 fine, $75 victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, that's $350 as part of payment plan. My suggestion is you don't get another one, because I won't do a payment plan. I'll just do a jail plan. Yeah, that careless driving that dinged you up and then you blew it off for 6 years, but we got back on track. Otherwise, I probably would have done a jail sentence. But you made a payment April 6th. All right, I'll have the court officer take you out to the counter. That resolves all 3 of these. All things considered, you owe a lot of money, $500, $350 plus $150. But it's a civil infraction and a no point non-obstructable offense. That's probably as good as it's gonna get. Hopefully, the no proof of insurance won't affect you, because that does get abstracted. But the other charges are solved. Thank you, Mr.
In
George.
this courtroom segment, the judge first clarifies jail credit for another defendant, Frank Randall, confirming he has a total of 6 days of credit, 5 days plus 1 earlier day. The scene then shifts to Tyler James Kern, who faces misdemeanor charges including no insurance, driving with a suspended license, and an unlawful plate. The prosecutor offers a favorable plea deal. Kern pleads guilty to a reduced civil infraction, no proof of insurance, in exchange for dismissal of the more serious charges. The judge carefully explains the legal difference between having no insurance and simply not carrying proof, ensuring Kern understands his rights before accepting the plea. Kern agrees, requests a payment plan for the fines, and explains he has been working, cutting grass, to pay off obligations and reinstate his license. The judge acknowledges his effort, warns him about the cycle of fines and license suspensions, describing it as driving while poor, and finalizes the deal with manageable payments and no jail time, resolving all charges while cautioning him to avoid future violations.